All right, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a good weekend, and hopefully you have something good to look forward to over the week. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in here. I probably practiced, let's say, between 2 and 3 hours, which isn't a lot. And I barely sat down and I just played through almost the whole first page, but I didn't even get to do that. So I'm going to be adjusting, obviously, as the stream goes on. But thank you for joining me. And if you'd like to make a small donation or perhaps subscribe to my Patreon, you can do that with the link in the description to this video. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And be sure to like this video. That definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. All right, so I think I'm going to start. By the way, I made a new scan of the Prelude, and I wrote in all the fingering, so you have it all to my right. You have it all right here. You could check it out. You can try it. You can see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you. Most of it is right hand. I don't think I did anything different for the left hand. It's mostly right hand. I also have some brackets in there because as I was practicing, I started to hear it differently. And that in turn made, because I heard it differently, that in turn made me play it differently. And so I made a couple of decisions, which you may not hear because like I said, only 2 or 3 hours over the week. So it's not much. But let me go ahead and attempt the first page up to basically measure 14. You'll see the line in the bracket. Let me look at my monitor. Yeah, you'll see a line at the bracket there. So let's go ahead and see. Well, let's just jump right in. So here's what I got. And that's all I practiced. So a couple of flubs there, obviously. I did double up a finger on accident. Obviously a couple of just simple technical mistakes. But otherwise, I mean, you can kind of hear it and as it's progressing. So I want to talk very briefly about how I'm hearing it. Now I know it's only 2 voices. You have a top voice and you have a bottom voice. But the more I was playing it when I was playing it, I started to hear, instead of one melody singing on top with the bass on the bottom, I started to hear it as if there was a melody that was coming and going, and then another melody comes and goes, and then another melody comes and goes and takes its place, as opposed to just one melody that's just always there. And hearing it that way, I started to notice a couple of things. So if you notice on measure 3, I have something bracketed off. I have these 4 notes bracketed off. I heard these 4 notes as an individual melody separate from the first part of measure 3 and separate from measure 4. So let me see if I can explain this to you. So I hear this in measure 3 as one melody, and then it goes away, and then I hear this as another melody separate, and then a third melody, whoops, all this. Okay, so having said that, that means I'm going to play it just a little bit different than I would otherwise. So measure 3 I would play, let's see. without the mistakes, but hopefully you hear it. It sounds like one melody, and then another melody comes playing the lower notes at a lower register, and then a third melody comes in again in those higher notes. Second melody, third melody. Oops. Okay, now why do I hear that? Well, actually I don't know why I hear that, but I do hear it. And that actually led to something else in measure 8. So if you look at measure 8, I have another bracket, the last 3 notes, as well as the first note of measure 9. And I felt like this was in a similar vein to the notes that I just explained to you at the end of measure 3. So in measure 8, we have melody 1, and then melody 2. Only this time, it sounds like these 3 notes are continuing. It sounds like those three notes are the beginning of the next melody. So as opposed to melody 1, melody 2, melody 3, it sounds like melody 1, melody 2. But melody 2 in this instance, at the end of measure 8, it tricks you into thinking it's going to do melody 1, melody 2, melody 3. But instead it's going melody 1, melody 2, and then melody 2 just continues. It kind of grows from there. So let me see if I can show you the difference. So measure 3, we have melody 1, melody 2, melody 3. Okay, hopefully you heard those 3 melodies, at least that's what I'm hearing. Now in measure 8, it's going to sound similar, but the second melody doesn't stay in those low notes, and then with the third melody coming in. It starts with those low notes, but then it builds itself up, and it becomes what would have been the third melody. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's measure 8. Oh, sorry. Let me do that again. That's what it sounds like to me. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Maybe you hear that too. Or if not, maybe this will give you another perspective. So let's see, what else do I have bracketed off? Let me take a look here at measure 10. This, whoops. The last notes in measure 10, that sounds like a separate melody. So let me see if I can play that with that in mind. So you have your first melody. That's it. Next melody comes in from underneath. Okay. Third melody. So that is very much in the same vein as measure 3 and 4. Melody 1, melody 2 underneath, melody 3 takes off. And then from there, I believe that's it. So let me take it from measure 11. Melody, or that's the end of one melody, phrase. Phrase. That's why you see the lines there. End of the phrase. Notice I have hard shift there. That's something that I needed to practice. Most of the time was spent, a good chunk of the time was spent practicing those last 2 staff lines, measure 11, 12, 13. Actually, half of it. The first half is not so bad. But once you get to here, measure 8, things start to get a little bit dicey. Oops. When you shift from that A sharp at the end of measure 13, be careful to stop the bass so you don't hear a squeak when you shift to reach that E with your fourth finger. And then we're into the next part, which I'm going to learn now. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and play through this first page one more time. And then you can sort of see the progress, see my process as I start to learn the next part. All right, so here we go from the beginning. Let me do that again. A little loud. Something like that. All right, that obviously needs more practice, but let's go ahead and start learning the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and, how should I do this? I'm going to go ahead and just go right to the second page. And that first measure, or I'm sorry, that last measure of the first page, which would be the first measure of the next section, I'm going to go ahead and just omit that one from the screen here. So you have, so you have basically everything except the first measure of the new section. So here we go. This is going to be the same fingering as the very beginning. Oops, I keep wanting to do that. Come on. That has to be I. So measure 17 has to be PI. It doesn't have to be that. I think that feels right to me. Which means I can't use I at the end of measure 16. So that's got to be something different. So I'd have to work my way backwards as pertains to the fingers. I'm just going to start over. Back to measure 14. I'm deciding whether to play this measure, measure 16, as A, M, A, I, or M, I, M, I. And I think I'm going to go M, I, M, I. That's to think about. Yeah. a string crossing there, an awkward one. But that sets us up to play PI, excuse me, on measure 17. So that's what I'm going to do. M, trying to remember. Okay, this is clearly going to be I, A, M, A. Right? Yeah, I think that's what I wrote down originally. And then I am. A, M, A, I, M. I, M, A, M. I, M, A, M. I should write this down. You know what? I don't have a pencil with me, so I'm just trying to remember. Okay. Bar. F sharp minor. With an A in the bass. And we got a shift there. Okay. I keep forgetting. M-I-M-A. Yeah, I think that's what I wrote down. I didn't, I think I mentioned this last time. I did go over this at one point, and I wrote down all the fingers. I just wrote them down kind of lightly, and the scanner picked some of them up. M-I, yeah, that makes sense. M for the G sharp, and again, this is measure 18. And then again, I-M-A, I have an A there. M-I-A. Okay. Yeah, normally that would be kind of weird. With no context, the last three notes of measure 18 would be M-I-M. Makes perfect sense. But knowing that in measure 19 we go to A and F sharp, that would mean I don't want to use my middle finger for the last note of measure 18, which is why I have an A. M-I-A into measure 19. That allows us to use our middle finger for A and our index finger for the F sharp. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start from measure 18. Again, I-M-A-M. That's happened 3 times now? Where we just arpeggio, we have a 4-string arpeggio, so I go I-M-A and then M to finish it off. And that seems to work for me. Let's see. Watch the scratch on the 4-string. Turn your wrist. Try to avoid that. AMA. Okay, so measure 20, I need to start middle. So I go M-I. So the last 3 notes have to be M-I-M. No, I-M-I. So the last 3 notes of measure 19 are I-M-I. Yep. The scanner picked those up. So measure 19. I'm sorry, I-M-I-M. Oh, that should be pinky. No bar. Be careful there. You might have a tendency to bar, at least I obviously had a tendency to bar there before realizing I'm going to have to use my first finger for the F sharp and then the shift to the A. So it doesn't make sense to bar. See, this makes more sense. You just lift it off. Ooh, right hand. What am I doing there? Huh. All right, let's play through this a couple of times. Figure out what to do. Where should I start? Start on 19. Watch the scratch. We have to bar the whole time? So measure 19, that bar is written in for the entire measure. I'm taking it off. Let me see. I guess you could. Up to you, I guess. Shift. I'm guessing. Shoot, I really wish I had a pencil. I think I'm gonna go 19. M, I, M, A, M, I, A, M, I, wait, what? You could play measure 19. Once you get to the middle finger, just alternate M, I, M, I, M, I, and that'll actually work out too. You don't need to use your ring finger. You could do I, M, I, M, I, M the entire time. You don't even have to do I, M, I, M, A. You just do M, I, M, I, M, I, M, I, M, I, M, I. Yeah. You could actually, to make, if you could play measure 19 and 20 just strictly, you know, M, I, starting with M on measure 19, M, I, M, I, throughout the entire measures, throughout both of those measures. Yeah, you could do that. That everything lines up the way I want it to. I just try and avoid, I try and avoid my index finger. But it's less thinking. So, try. Here, 21, definitely ring. It's getting dicey here. Back to 1. Very jazzy. C, F, A, D. harmonious reading at this point. Sorry. It just sounds good. G. Definitely crescendo there for climbing. You can hear it right away. Definitely sounds like we're trying to arrive somewhere. So that's what I would do. All right, let's take a few steps back. You know what? I'm gonna go back to measure 14. That's a big one. Already talked about it. Do it again. I'm gonna go from back to 14. I gotta figure that fingering out. There it is. A M A I M I A M I M A. That's what I would do. And obviously for next week, after having worked on this, I'll make sure I have all of that written down, so you could pause it and write it down, figure out what you're gonna do, give it a shot, see how it feels to you. That's a stretch. That G sharp, yeah. I'm not expecting to move that far up. So let me take it from 17. Better. I just got to do that, 100 times. Excuse me. I was really dehydrated today. I haven't been drinking a lot of tea lately. Usually I drink a lot of tea in the winter. But for whatever reason, I haven't been drinking tea. And that's like my main source of water. So it's really thirsty. Probably have another 2 of these. These are big. Before I go to bed. Okay, let's take it from 13, 14. Let's see what time it is. Okay, half hour. Great. 2. Did I do that right? I don't know. Yeah, that's all you have to worry about is that shift from A to G. If you got that down, the measures, you don't have to worry about it at all. Someone's at the door, guys. I'm so sorry. I gotta get this. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's continue. Where was I? I'm gonna start on measure 19. Stretch there. What I would write down is I would write stretch, just as a reminder. You know, you got to go just a little bit further than you think you do. Let me do that again. How am I going to avoid that? I could rest my thumb. That's what I'll do. So I'm noticing when I lift up my first finger, third finger, I'm hearing the 6th string ring out. So I'm going to rest my thumb to avoid that. Yeah, so these 2 measures I'm definitely going to want to practice. I'm going to need to practice too. I would bracket that off. Measure 21. 4, 2, 4. Oops. So I'm going to start on measure 21. Okay, so in measure 22, I'm definitely going to want to start M-I. So, because we're going second, third string, so M-I, that makes sense. So I want to make sure that the last three notes are I want to make sure that the last note of 21 I play with an index finger or a ring finger. So that's what's going on in my head. So the first thing that would come to mind would be I-M-I. So D natural, C sharp, and B at the end of measure 21, I'd probably play I-M-I. And that'll set me up to play P and M. And then, as a result, I on the third string on measure 21, or 22. So let's do that, 21. Yep. I-M-I-M. Locked it in. Do that again, 21. M-I-M-I-M. I would play that B natural with an A with my ring finger. Either ring or index. I'm going to choose my ring finger because I'm landing on that G on measure 22 with the C in the bass, C sharp in the bass, with my middle finger. It feels more comfortable using my ring finger for B. If you want to use your index finger, you can. 23, I would play that with my ring finger. Ring, M-I-M. Climb up from there. M-I-M. There's an awkward string crossing. I'm not sure you can avoid that. No. There's going to be an awkward string crossing regardless. If you start with your ring finger. You go ring, I-M-I-M-I-M, you get one. Ring, M-I-M-I-M, you get another one. I'm going to start on 21. Let's see if I could break some of this other stuff down. Sorry, I just got kind of into it. If you have any questions, let me know. Hit me up in the comments later if you need to. Not expecting this chord. A Baroque piece. There it is. That has to be ring finger. Okay. M-I-A. 25 is P-A. That might not feel right to you, but let's see. Back to 21. I think I already did this a couple of times. Okay, in measure 23, it's suggested to play D with your third finger. And I was thinking, why would I do that? This feels more comfortable, too. But the problem is, your middle finger needs to go to to C natural. And for whatever reason, every time I do that, I mess up. But if I use my third finger, I'm still messing up. Because you're going to be returning to, because you're going to play D at the end of the measure with your third finger. So he's just setting you up to do that. So you don't have to do a lot of movement. Why would you do, M-I-M? No, you can't do that. In measure 25, I want to play that B with my ring finger. Which means I can't use my ring finger at the end of measure 24. It's just a puzzle. I think I mentioned that the last week, or either on last Monday or Thursday when I was working on the barrios. But fingering, it's just a puzzle. Once you figure it out, then it's just a matter of playing it over and over and over, and you get it. So let's see. A23. M-I-M-I-M. Third finger. Third finger for D. Second finger for the F sharp, because you're going to use your first finger for B in the bass. That makes sense. Yeah. That's a big shift. Okay, I'm at measure 24, the C natural. A, M, I, M, I, M, A. Sorry for all the buzzes. measure 26, the last 6 notes, I really want to go M, M, A, M, I, M. So having said that, the note before that A, this one, is going to have to be A. The note before that can be, notice how I'm working my way backwards. The note before that can be M. Note before that, A. AM, AM, AM. Yeah. You might want to try that. That feels right to me. All right, back to measure. I'm going to go back to measure 23. Third finger. So I, M, A. So measure 25. A, M, I, M, I, M, I, M, A, I, M, I, M, A. Yeah, I'll have this all written down by next Monday. Let's see. Can I play that? It is kind of weird doing AM, AM, AM for so long. You could do M, I, M, I, A, M, A, M, I, M, A for measure 26. So those are your options. I think I actually like MI to start. Up to you. How would I do that? Definitely AM. Measure 27. A, M, A, M, I, M, I, M, I, M, A. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Make sure I'm playing that right. C sharp, G, yep. I, A, M. I'm so confused. My brain power is diminishing. $27. That sounds like a new section. Because we modulated back to the home note, not home note, the original key, D major. So that's gonna be the that's gonna be where I stop. That's gonna be measure 30. Okay. 8 more minutes. I'm gonna go back to, excuse me, I'm gonna go back to 21. I don't even remember this. I figured out the fingering when I was working on it, and because I didn't write it down, I feel like I'm just having to relearn it. Back to 21. This is why it's so important to write everything down. What did I write down? I can't see it in this light. I gotta figure that out. I am. Oh, that's a shift. Okay. P, oh, sorry. I am. Yeah. It's a lot of untangling. Getting worn out mentally. Let's try I think part of it is because I'm not writing it down, so I'm trying to remember, so I'm just instead of having, if I had written it down, then it's just a matter of, okay, let's see, what am I playing? And I just kind of play it. So yeah. 23, by the way. The fingering for the left hand, I'll say this. The fingering for the left hand in this edition, it's top notch. Like everything makes sense. I don't think I changed anything. It just, everything's in its place. Back to 20, I'll do 23. Where am I? There I am. That's up to the next part. All right, let's try it once. Back to measure 14. See what it sounds like, and then I'll practice it over this week, and then I'll meet you back here next Monday, 6 p.m. All right, let's see. B. That was right. Oh, this is where it's just I am. I did something wrong there. Three, four. Okay. Yeah, Bach is great, man. It kind of covers all the bases. Left hand, right hand, phrasing. It's just, it keeps you on your toes. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. On Thursday, I'll be doing this again, but it will be the Estudio from the Barrios, which I did last Thursday. And it'll basically be the same sort of format. I'll have the first page already, written in with notes and things that it'll have all of my notes on it. And I'll play that, and then I'll learn the next part. And then the following week, it'll all be the same thing. And eventually, you'll hear the pieces pretty much ready to be performed. And then from there, I'll just choose other pieces and, see how this goes. So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will see you all on Thursday.